Thanks for listening to Gossip with Celebrity, brought to you by Celebrity.com. This week we talk about the royals and Khloe Kardashian. We end with our weekly feature, The Comments of the Week. The stories, photos, and tweets we talk about can be found at Celebrity.com/podcast under episode 110. Hi, I'm Katie, the founder and editor of Celebrity.com, and I write as Celebrity.
And I'm Chandra, I'm the head writer for Celebrity, and I write as Kaiser.
I wasn't prepared for that one. I screwed it up a little bit, but
well, at least it wasn't me screwing it up. I'm always forgetting my name and shit.
I got spooked a little bit. Oh, I gotta take off my jacket because I just heard it. I'm wearing one of these track jackets that makes noise when you move. So I'm gonna take it off so it's not making noise. I have to edit out the whole time. So we're gonna have another episode out next week, and then we'll be off 2 weeks for Christmas and New Year's. So we'll be back after that.
And I would think that we'd probably be off several weeks here and there during the award season.
So I know you didn't check yet, but I did update. I know you. I updated the calendar with the awards. And we do have the Golden Globes, but they aren't airing because they're
terrible
pieces of shit.
Yeah, they
racist.
HFPA, Hollywood Foreign Press.
That's the same night as the Critics' Choice. So we're not going to have a hard time in February. And then the Oscars are later on in March. I think they're the 27th. But I put them on the Celebrity calendar. Go to calendar.google.com, Chandra.
Thank you. Yes, I know. I was just going to say, I think the Oscars are later for next year because of the Olympics, don't you?
Oh, see, you know about Olympic stuff. I don't know about Olympic stuff.
Because the Olympics are in February. So I think everything is getting pushed back. I think the BAFTAs will probably be pushed back then, too. Did you look to see the BAFTA date?
I didn't get the BAFTAs. The SAGs are the 27th of February.
Yeah, so that got pushed back a lot, too. Well, lately, the SAGs have been a week or two after the Golden Globes.
All right, well, you got me on this because I didn't put it down, but it's the 27th of March, the Oscars. But I didn't put it down yet. But no, I didn't write it down. But I have the SAGs and the Grammys and all that on there. Grammys are on Monday night.
See, I'm glad I didn't check the calendar.
The 31st of January are the Grammys.
This is going to become our podcast thing is fighting over the schedule.
If we don't fight over the podcast schedule, we got to fight over the posting schedule. I'm putting it on there right now, the Oscars.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, the Critics' Choice are on at 7 p.m. on Sunday, January 9th. That's the next thing we have going on. So we don't have to take off the podcast for that because it's just the Critics' Choice. It's not going to throw us off that much.
I bet the Critics' Choice, they try to be bigger this year because the Golden Globes are going to suck so much. So I bet a lot of people will go to the Critics' Choice this year.
That'll be okay. Whatever. That's fine.
The Critics' Choice are so budget anyway. People just show up and wear whatever the hell they want and they don't really try.
I think we could get invitations to that because we're critics. We are critics. We could be doing press stuff if we wanted. It's nothing I want to do because I'm lazy, but it's something that we could do.
Yeah, we get invitations for all that shit.
Yeah, but
not all of it, but we do get invitations. Vanity Fair is always trying to get me to sign up for shit. I'm like, really? No.
We could do the press stuff, the virtual press stuff, but the amount of preparation and everything we'd have to do, that's different than our job, which is just to be gossips from our house. No, I'm serious. I never really wanted to grow that big because I didn't want to put us out there. You know what I mean? I'm I'm kind of happy with the way things are. It's easy.
I would do interviews with people if I could just do it over the phone.
You can't. You got to do the video shit now.
I hate that.
Yeah, me too. So I wouldn't do it. It was hard for me to start the Zooms with everybody, but now I'm such good friends with them because I've been talking to them for almost 2 years. So that's different. Plus, they're not famous and I don't broadcast those anywhere. All right. So I have to tell everybody that we tried to do this upgrade. It's a tech upgrade to the site. It didn't work out. We're going to work on that again in January, but it worked out fine, ultimately. That was Monday morning. You might have noticed that some stories were published and then we had to republish them again a little while later, but it worked out fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
Eventually.
A little bit of stress. Yeah.
It was stressful for about 2 hours, and then it was fine.
We got everything back, so it worked out okay. I've been really tired though, like just grumpy and tired, and I've been sleeping a lot. We got new tanning booths in my town. Like my town is so little. There was not a tanning place for several years because the one place we had closed down. But this pawn shop has like used tanning beds in the back, and they advertise out in front. So I went there, and for $5, I got like 6 minutes because I'm really pale and I put tons of sunblock on and everything. But it's nice. Like I used to do that when I lived in Europe because it would get so dark in the winter and I would get depressed. And I think that helped me to go to the tanning bed. I'll do it a couple more times this winter.
Yeah, I haven't been in a tanning bed since the 90s.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, I tan very easily. I mean, I'm half Indian. Of course I do.
Yeah.
I just went to the tanning beds to even out my tan because I usually have a farmer's tan. But I've been getting a lot of sun on my face. And yeah, walking has really helped me just in general. Being outside, fresh air, sun, exercise. Yeah. I started walking outside during the pandemic and last March, something like that. And it's really helped me.
You're better than I am about going out when it's cold. Like I bought myself a heated vest on Black Friday and I've been wearing that a little bit, but I still don't like walking when it's cold out or hiking when it's cold out. So that's why I haven't been getting out as much.
I love it.
All right. Good for you.
Yeah, I put on a nice warm fleece, and if it's really cold, I put on gloves and I walk.
I wear gloves and a hat and all that, but I'm like grumpy when I do. I'm like, it's freezing. Why am I out here?
No, because I have a bad knee, and like I swear to God, my knee feels so much better when I'm walking in really cold weather.
Oh, okay. That's good that you can work on it like that. Yeah, I'm just fussy about the cold.
And you're a northerner. You're from upstate New York, right?
I am. Maybe I have thyroid problems or something. I don't know, but I'm always cold. I'm freezing all the time.
No, that is something about getting older. I used to never really be like, oh, I'm freezing in winter. I'm like that all the time now. I have a little space heater by my feet while I'm working all day.
Me too. I got a space heater by my feet too. I use the same thing. Yeah.
And I have on thick socks and slippers.
Nice. Yeah, I have my slippers by me too. I have that little heater running all the time, but I can't have it too hot at night or I get overheated.
Oh yeah, me too.
Like I just use a ton of blankets. Yeah.
Me too.
All right, let's talk about the royals. So a few weeks ago, the CEO of Prince Charles's foundation, his name is Michael Fawcett, and he was an aide to Prince Charles for decades, I guess. He resigned following some stories that broke like over the summer about how Charles traded access and British
it's a tongue twister. British citizenship and knighthoods and honors in exchange for donations to his foundation.
That's something like you look at that British citizenships and it doesn't seem like it's going to be a tongue twister until you try to say it. But he really did that. And the guy left so that he could take the fall for Charles because he knew what was happening.
Yeah, I mean, Fawcett very clearly fell on his sword yet again, and I'm sure Fawcett will be rehired at some point. Fawcett's resignation doesn't even make sense because while he was setting up a lot of the cash for access schemes, Charles was clearly in the know. He was being CC'd on all of those emails. He was the one handing out the CBEs and the honors. He was meeting face to face with all of these shady billionaires and millionaires.
He knew what was happening.
Exactly.
And one of the guys he gave a CBE to was this Saudi businessman. He's one of the richest Saudis. Mahfouz, Marei, Mubarak bin Mahfouz. We're just going to call him Mahfouz. And I read his wiki so I could understand this story because it's really complicated. And that CBE ceremony was private and it wasn't even in the court circular. So they were trying to hide that shit.
Oh, yeah. Like that alone tells you so much about how Charles was complicit in this entire scheme. And he probably organized it. It wasn't just Fawcett off there doing it on his own.
Yeah. No, he knew what was happening. So there was a story in the Times earlier this week claiming that Prince Harry met with this same Saudi guy, Mafouz, in 2013, and that he donated 50,000 pounds to Santa Bale, which is Harry's African charity. And in response to that, Harry issued a statement basically saying that he cut this guy off and tried to warn people about them. He didn't say specifically he warned the other royals, but that was implied.
Yeah, and the thing about it is Mafouz wasn't making any secret about what he was doing. Like, he was clearly promising huge donations to royal charities in exchange for access, in exchange for photos with royals. Harry, take photos with my son, that kind of thing. And Harry, he started to get very squeamish about the ethics of it because Mafouz just kept wanting more and more.
It was obvious to anybody. So in Harry's statement, he wrote that the Duke had one planned meeting with this donor nearly 8 years ago, did not introduce him to any members of the royal family, and expressed his concerns about the donor.
Right.
He wasn't involved in the cash for access scandal. So...
Yeah, I mean, so that was a direct rebuke of his father and this long-running scandal now with his father and Charles's foundation. And for Charles, it's a lot bigger than this one Saudi.
Yeah.
He's been implicated in several cash for access issues and cash for honors issues. But I thought the Sunday Times, the original story from the Times, was something that Clarence House probably put out itself, that Charles was actively trying to throw Harry under the bus.
And what are they thinking? Harry met with him years before Prince Charles was openly dealing with him. So...
Yeah, I think Charles was just trying to distract. And then I don't even know if Charles just thought that Harry wouldn't respond or wouldn't say anything. But when Harry did, Charles had a shit fit, basically.
So now there are tons of stories that Prince Charles is so upset at Harry. A source told The Sun, quote, Charles is deeply shocked and disappointed by Harry's latest statement, which effectively threw his father under the bus. There are fears that this episode with Mafouz could even be a chapter in Harry's autobiography. This attack was more damaging than the swipe at Charles's parenting skills because this was a challenge to the way he conducts his business, which is far more damaging to the future king.
Well,
the next line is the one that you loved. There is no way for Charles to fight back and defend himself publicly, so he keeps a dignified silence. Yeah. There's like a lot more quotes in here. That's not a dignified silence.
Yeah. So after Harry issued that correction or clarification, Charles went to The Sun, he went to The Telegraph, he went to Richard Kay at the Daily Mail.
Yeah.
They were all running Charles stories about how Harry is awful and Harry's statement is awful and Harry is trying to throw his father under the bus. And Charles cannot respond. He has to maintain a dignified silence.
Even though it's in every...
Yeah, they spread that to
tabloid.
3 different newspapers.
The one that you covered from Richard Kay in the Daily Mail is priceless.
Yeah.
It's terrible, too. They're comparing Harry to Diana in that Harry is somehow making people question Prince Charles's authority.
Right.
And it's offensive.
The thing is that I understand what Kay is trying to say, and it's true in some sense. It's true in the sense that Diana made people think, just by telling her truth, she made people think that Charles was going to be a really shitty king. And Harry is doing the same thing. Harry, by just telling his truth and telling his side of the story, is making his father look like a complete asshole.
So he's right, but in a way other than intended.
Yeah.
Kay is right, yeah. Okay, so speaking of somebody looking like a complete asshole when trying to defend themselves, we got another version of the Meghan made Kate cry story. This is getting to be outrageous. We have talked about this on the podcast. You guys who are listening to this know it.
Well, how long have we been doing the podcast again? We've been doing it since, 2020?
No, girl, we've been doing this since 2018.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's right.
I'm going to look it up now, but I'm positive we've been doing this since 2018. Let me look it up. I'll just go to our podcast category.
2019, I think.
I think it was the end of 2018. No, you're right. It was January 2019. You're right.
So January 2019, that's just when the story started. about this fucking incident at the bridesmaids' dress fitting. So the actual incident, whatever happened, it went down in like early May 2018. Then the first stories about this incident in the bridesmaids' dress fitting started happening in the fall of 2018.
Okay.
So that's where we are. We're now 3 years later, and we are still hearing different fucking variations of this same goddamn story about Meghan made Kate cry, and then no, Meghan cried, and here's why Kate made Meghan cry, but really Kate cried.
All right, so we heard the story was at a bridesmaid's fitting, and we've heard different versions of this story, and maybe this is the press playing telephone, who knows, but we've heard it was about the bridesmaids' dresses, we've heard it was about the bridesmaids wearing tights or not, and Meghan said on the Oprah interview that Kate is the one who made her cry, but Kate did apologize, and she accepted her apology.
And that Kate brought her flowers and a note. Like, just to add to this, after the Oprah interview, sources close to Kate said, yes, Kate did bring her flowers and a note, and Meghan slammed the door in her face.
I don't even remember that. I don't even think I can put links in this post to back everything up because I don't want to look all that up. And
it's insane. Yeah.
The amount of stories are outrageous. So this time they're claiming that Kate confronted Meghan over Meghan's treatment of staffers, and that Kate got so worked up she cried about it, but that Kate brought the flowers to Meghan to apologize to her. But it was right before the wedding. So now it's about some other shit, and all the details have changed. How do they think this makes Kate look good if this is even remotely true? It doesn't make her look good. She looks whack.
Yeah, like, so... They're just trying to shift the story so it like sort of fits in with Meghan. Like, they're almost assuming that Meghan is actually telling the truth. They're just trying to add a different motive for Kate for why she would have made Meghan cry. And so
no, for why Meghan made her cry, Chandra.
Yeah.
Meghan made
No, but like the actual story is that Meghan could have cried, but Kate was totally in the right.
And Kate cried.
They're just trying to fudge it enough so that Meghan's story can sort of make sense and Kate can still be justified and pure and good.
Like every ridiculous story.
Yeah, but like this story, it really made Kate sound like she went fucking berserk on Meghan and then cried about it. Like, she just lost her shit on Meghan and then pulled the like Karen victim card of, oh, I can't believe you made me go berserk on you.
But like a typical Karen, she's retelling the story still thinking she's right.
Yeah, it's insane.
Oh. So we talked about the royals on Zoom, and this is Zakia and Michelle.
But what did they think Harry was going to do at this point? Like, to continue to take them lying on him when now he doesn't have the aides or courtiers to go through. He doesn't have to deal with the British press. He has his own microphone that he can use, and he's just supposed to take the lie and not push back on it.
I think they just fundamentally don't understand that people would just not do what serves them, because Charles and William have only ever been surrounded by people who do what they want. It just is like this foreign concept to them that somebody, especially somebody in Harry's role, his not asked for role, but, you know, would just accept being thrown under the bus. I particularly enjoyed that article. It just was so well written and like snarkily. I think she's bringing out a little extra snark for the holiday season, and I am here for it. But yeah, she was basically like, this is where the tabloids wanted to get him in trouble for one thing, but didn't realize we'd see this other thing, and then just wanted to ignore that stuff. Any normal person would realize, of course, he's not going to just sit down and take that. And it actually makes him look good to be like, once I realized there was a problem, I stopped and cautioned other people, but so foreign to them to accept responsibility for anything.
What do you think about the Kate and the crime story coming back up again? It's like two stories out there that Kate was so offended about how Meghan was allegedly treating the palace staff that she inserted herself into a situation that had nothing to do with her and confronted Meghan And Meghan then made her cry. And so then she sent her flowers. Kate sent Meghan flowers as an apology because she cried.
Because
I
she,
just don't get
lost
they're trying to change
control.
the story and still keep Kate as the victim, and it's not meshing.
It's stupid. It's just so stupid. I understand. I think what they're trying to say is Kate got overly emotional and apologized because she was overly emotional, but she was still in the right because she was protecting her staff. But it is also just obvious bullshit. I mean, one, as was pointed out in the article, because when has she ever stood up to protect her staff at any other time? And two, everyone understands you don't fuck with a bride the week of their wedding, especially at a dress fitting. It's not the time. There's no way to make her the good guy in this story. And they look stupid trying.
So yeah, they're saying this just looks so stupid because Kate doesn't look good at all.
I don't know why there's no one around Kate or the Middletons, because I believe this is a Middleton story. I think that this originated with Camp Middleton, Carol.
Karens are gonna Karen.
Yeah.
And that's a whole clan of Karens.
I don't know why none of them have just said, look, this story has gotten out of hand. Maybe Meghan cried, we don't know, but Kate definitely cried. And it was all some big misunderstanding. Why are they clinging to this idea that they have to villainize Meghan for something?
So it's like Michelle was saying, they're all surrounded by yes people, and no one is telling them no. And they're telling them their every idea is brilliant.
This isn't even a take the L moment. This is just lower the temperature.
Stop talking about it.
Yeah, stop talking about it and lower the temperature and just say, you know what? We probably both fucked up. Sorry. Just be the bigger person. And that's how you get through it.
But no one was talking about this for months. They don't even have to say they were sorry or whatever. They just could have let it go.
Yeah.
But the fact that they keep bringing this up shows that this is all they have on Meghan. It's vague. It keeps changing. There are no details about how she bullied staff. The emails she sent were quite professional and decent. And we have every reason to believe that they're completely lying about her.
Right.
And that they continue to lie. And it's the same with Harry and his dad, whatever. Okay.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the bullying story is that there have never been any details about exactly what Meghan did.
Oh, she sent an email at 5:00 in the morning.
No, but remember when Emily Andrews was on my Twitter and she was like, I know people who have been devastated by this, by Meghan. And she didn't have any details. It's just people calling up royal reporters and saying, Meghan bullied me.
She made me cry.
She made me cry. I have PTSD because of Meghan. Well, okay, how? Why? What did she do?
How's that investigation going?
Exactly.
And what have you turned over to Meghan's lawyers?
Exactly.
All right, let's talk about Khloe Kardashian. This is another story. It's on the same level as the Meghan made Kate cry story because you can't figure out where it ends or where it begins. So Tristan Thompson has cheated on Khloe Kardashian umpteen times. She always takes him back. She tells the press that he's different and they're back together and she's going to have another child with him. Rinse and repeat for years. So they have that daughter True together. And they were together earlier this year in lockdown and they broke up in June. And it's coming out now that Tristan got another woman pregnant in March. She's a personal trainer named Maralee Nichols. And she filed a paternity suit against Tristan. In that suit, she put in some text messages that he sent where he says he's only going to give her $75,000 for the child. And that if she's after child support, she's going to get nothing because he's retiring.
And he also claimed she's just trying to get famous. This from a man who fucked a Kardashian.
Yeah, I like how you ended with that. That was a good conclusion you wrote to one of those stories. I was like, yes, that's a good point.
I feel bad for Maralee. I feel bad for all of his side chicks because I really do think he has some sort of psychological problem. I said sex addiction and everyone climbed up my ass. But
well, these guys are really good at lying and sweet talking and making you think that you're the most special one.
right, but like he's like manipulative as hell. And like this Maralee Nichols issue, that wasn't even his first side chick of this year. Like when he was with Khloe.
Really?
Yeah.
Of this
There
year?
was a whole drama in January that he was hitting up like a Instagram model. And it wasn't Maralee.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like,
he was seen out with like 2 other women and TMZ got it or something. Yeah. And this is before we had any vaccines.
And Khloe tried to intimidate those women because they were telling their stories in interviews.
She did this with Lamar Odom's side pieces too. I'm going to put a link in this post to a story from 2013 where one of Lamar's mistresses, she was an attorney, went on the record saying that Khloe like was screaming, yelling outside her hotel room. Khloe and Chris came to her apartment as well, and Khloe tried to throw punches at her. Lamar had to restrain Khloe. The cops were called.
I had no memory of this, but I believe it.
I covered it, and I remember it just because I wrote about it, and rereading it, I was like, oh, that's true. I mean, the woman took a polygraph and everything. Yeah,
I think Khloe has gotten better about confronting people face to face. I don't think she's...
It's not even something you should be doing with your
yeah, it's not
boyfriend's side
but
pieces.
Like, it's a really gross habit that she has of intimidating side chicks. It is. I mean, it's disgusting what she's doing.
Yeah. So in response to this story about the paternity suit, we got all these source quotes from Khloe saying, oh, she thought he would change. She's so upset.
And why is she centering herself within this story? Like, you've been broken up for 6 months. You haven't taken him back, thank God.
She's probably still sleeping with this dude.
But like, this would be a moment for Khloe to like have some self-respect and be like, yeah, that's why I dumped him in June. You know, like he's a piece of shit.
Do you think Khloe ever has self-respect? That is something she completely lacks.
Her lack of self-esteem and her lack of self-respect is what has driven her entire narrative with men, especially, and with plastic surgery.
And the fact that she doesn't see it, and she always posts these stupid memes which are so obvious.
Her like
just have some dignity, lady.
Her little fake spirituality bullshit. Don't judge me.
Oh my God. We know what that's about. That's so lame. So we talked about this on Zoom, and this is Courtney, Karen, and Zakia.
She, I feel like, is the epitome of, I can't feel bad for you. You have the resources, you've had the opportunities, you clearly have the intelligence in other aspects of your life. I just can't feel bad for her, especially when she's so toxic to the side pieces. Like, yell at him, don't yell at them.
It's kind of like, that's why she just hangs on to these, because she doesn't want the other girl to win. And I said, wasn't Jordan Woods the ones that destroyed her family? I'm like, no, he is destroying your family, not her. He's the one, because clearly you care more about keep the family together than he does. And the type of man that says, I want nothing to do with the kid, I'll give you $75,000 because that's about as much as she's going to get. Who wants to be associated? I mean, again, it's like, she's such a doormat. And it's just hard for me to have any compassion for her whatsoever, because he's openly messy. This is not like the two of them know what's going on, nobody else knows, but he's so openly messy.
Well, and two, I mean, Tristan, if he'd said that to her, to this new baby mama number 3, he'll do it to Khloe too. Like, he's not going to do you or your child any better. But it's very like chicken head behavior to focus on the other woman and not put the focus on who your real problem is, right? And he knows she's so caught up in how things look rather than really how things are, that he can keep her trapped in this cycle of blaming the woman, not being mad at him. Because there was something recently, I don't know how true it is, but Khloe wanted to reach out to her, to talk to her, to get to the bottom of it. And it's just like, Khloe, just stop.
So yeah, like everyone's saying, she's confronting the other woman when the problem is the dudes she's picking. Like she keeps going out with these cheaters. She married one and then she had a baby with another and thinking that they're going to change for her and she can get rid of all the side chicks.
I mean, does she think that Tristan was going to change for her?
Well, those are what all the quotes were saying in People.
Yeah, I don't know if she honestly believed that Tristan was going to change. I don't know. I think she likes that drama. She likes that it's comfortable for her.
Yeah, that's what love is to her. She needs to go to therapy, not keep dating these guys and letting it play out in the press.
I did want to mention one thing with the Khloe thing. Do you think that Kris Jenner was like, ooh, thank God for that story because of all the Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott stuff?
Oh,
like, I think that's
probably
why Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson have been so in the news. The Khloe and Tristan thing, like anything to distract from Kylie and Travis.
Because of the Astroworld tragedy. Yeah, that's really sad. Yeah, Kris probably is making those calculated decisions about which daughters to put out there.
I mean, Kris is probably behind the People magazine shit about Khloe.
How long do you think that Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson are going to last?
I mean, his thing is 6 to 8 months, I think.
I bet they're going to last longer because Kim has a really high tolerance for that. Like, she was with Kanye for a long time. You know, she knows what that's like.
Yeah, but they weren't even living together for, like, most of their marriage.
Yeah, but I bet they'll be together at least a year, Kim and
I think 6 to
Pete.
8 months. Let's see, they started Halloween. They'll be done by next April or May.
Okay, maybe you're right. I give them till the fall, but we'll see. All right, let's move on to the comments of the week.
All right, my comment of the week is from the story about how I didn't know Finland had a 36-year-old prime minister, and she's very pretty.
Yeah.
And so the prime minister left her work phone at home, and she went out on a Saturday night and went clubbing, and she stayed out until 4 a.m. And when she got home, she realized that she'd got all these COVID notifications that she needed to quarantine.
Aww.
And so the first batch of comments were hilarious about how a lot of 30-somethings are like, God bless her if she can stay out until 4 a.m. And so Jenns said, gotta respect anyone 35 and older who can stay out clubbing until 4 a.m. If that were me, I'd be on life support. And A.Key says, yes, haha, my first thought too. I'm 35 and can't imagine going out clubbing. You'd have to bribe me with obscene amounts of money.
I know. I used to go out till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning when I was in college, and the bars would close at 4, and then we would go get breakfast after. I go to bed by 9:30, 10 now. I could not imagine.
Yeah.
When I stay up till midnight, I'm like, oh, dying for 2 days after.
Oh, me too. And if I'm up at 4 a.m., I'm often up at 4 a.m., but it's because I've been asleep for 7 hours beforehand.
Yeah. Yeah. I wake up at 4 most days, even though my alarm is set for 4:45. But yeah, I couldn't stay up that late. That's wild. They're doing it different in Finland, I guess. I don't know. Maybe she's one of those people who sleeps till 7:30 and she gets to work at 9, you know.
Well,
but
it was a Saturday. She was probably going to sleep all day on Sunday anyway.
I could not do that on the weekend. I can't screw up my sleep schedule that much. So my comment of the week is on the post about Sharon Gless. She was Cagney and Lacey. She has a new biography out, and she was writing that she gained 40 pounds when she was 49 for a role, and that it was one of the dumbest things she's ever done. So Betty Rose wrote, I gained weight for the pandemic. I'm regretting it. Should have gone with the fat suit.
Yeah.
Same, Betty. Hecate covered that story about Sharon Gless. That was a funny story. And it's true, man. The older I get, the harder it is to take that off. It's not easy.
Yeah, me too. And I'm starting to gain weight in different places than I used to when I was younger.
Yeah.
From walking and, whatever my activities are. My legs are in pretty good shape these days, but I'm gaining weight in my midsection. It's fucking
Me
sucks.
too. It goes straight to my stomach. Oh, well, it happens to everybody, you know, especially this last year. It was really tough this last year, but at least we're alive.
Yeah, we survived. That's good.
Yeah, I got to go to that budget tanning salon again to.
And I will look at the goddamn calendar.
Okay, thank you. While we were talking, I put the Oscars on there. All right, thanks for listening, bitches.
Thanks, bitches.
Thank you for listening to the Celebrity Podcast. Please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen. If you like us, please turn off your ad blocker when you visit our site. You can text us or leave a voicemail at 434-218-3219. Our music is from AA Alto, Maiden, and via Premium Beat and Sound of Picture. Thanks again.